Hello, welcome to the PHONEWORD Workshops event for Wednesday, October the 15th, 2014. It's 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and today we're going to be talking about part 2 elements of the PHONEWORD Workshops Bounty Program. If you're interested in part 1, you can find that on the recording from October the 8th. 2014, which should be immediately below this particular video if you're looking at this on the www.phonewordworkshops.com website. So what we're talking about is a new innovative way to collaborate, to create open source code, to create something that is new. So the intention here really is to experiment and develop a new way for many elements of a community to come together and create something that's outstanding. So I'm not going to, well, as I said, in the portion last week from October the 8th, I went into detail on the bounty program. So I'm going to try to avoid duplicating what was in last week's session as much as possible. But let me just say that if you are a developer, particularly in full stack JavaScript, Node.js, you're a web developer or designer, this is really an opportunity for you to showcase and highlight your skill set to a group of not only the community, but also a group of companies, enterprises that might be interested in your skill set for either contract work or full or part-time development purposes. In addition, if you're a developer, this is a way for you to work collaboratively with other developers, ideally of your skill set level, in a way that's real-time, where you can start to experiment with what would it look like if you could develop code, extraordinary web design, extraordinary web elements in a real-time fashion with other people, where you could mutually learn, mutually collaborate, mutually create together. That is the intention of the workshops. Now, from the invited sponsor side, if you're a company, this is an opportunity for you to get connected with people that are talented, that are motivated, that can work together well in a team setting, collaborate, and produce results in a very short, efficient amount of time. I've seen it done before. I've participated in and actually hosted developer events where incredible results have been produced in a very, very short period of time, an afternoon, in fact, among a team that has a tool set where they can work together and they can really enhance and create synergy among themselves. So that's what this is all about. That's the intention. That's the goals. We're also out to create an innovative platform that's designed to, in the open source fashion, we're out to create an innovative platform that allows a new level of relationship and connectivity and harmony among our disparate addresses, and that's the PhoneWord initiative. So I'm doing kind of a short, brief introduction just to give you a taste, if you're seeing this video for the first time, of what this is all about. And this is a very rich initiative. It's a very dynamic initiative. It has multiple dimensions to it. So I invite you to kind of stay tuned, hang in there with us as we go through some of the different dimensions of the PhoneWord workshops and the PhoneWord initiative in general, and really listen for what might be available for you, either as a developer, a web developer or web designer, or in the enterprise setting, if you're looking to build a dynamic team that can work together, that has a skill set that's highly sought after, this is an opportunity for your company to really accelerate in that initiative. So before we get into this, I'm going to talk about sort of the next steps a little bit early. And the next steps will be a week from today, on October the 22nd, 2014, at 4 p.m. Arizona time, which I believe would be 7 p.m. Eastern time. There will be a 30-minute session similar to this that's designed for invited sponsor companies, and that's large financial institutions, carriers, web companies, to tune in, have your questions asked, and learn more about what is available for you, your company, out of participating in the PHONEWORD Workshops Bounty Program. We'll go over how does this work, how does the reverse auction work, are some of the finer details going to come together, and how your company can participate. And you can participate simply by saying yes. There's no upfront cost. There's no commitment on your part. All you're asked to do is to follow the process, watch what happens, watch what develops, watch these dynamic teams as they develop together, collaborate together in a fashion similar to this Google Hangout. Watch, see what's available. So if you are an invited enterprise, you can, with a minimal amount of effort, I think you can see something that's very dynamic that's taking shape here. So if you're an enterprise, and we're speaking with some currently, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes, but if you are an enterprise and you're interested in participating in this, please send me an email, which is jcarpenter@phonewordworkshops.com. That's PHONEWORD workshops, WORKSHOPS.com. jcarpenter, JAYCARPENTER. Send me an email and I'll be happy to forward some information to you how your company can participate and be involved in this dynamic, innovative process to really get connected to some of the top talent that's out there. You can also call me at country code 1-602-228-4486. That's a direct connection to me, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. So that's a little summary if you're watching this and you're watching it from the standpoint of what's available for an enterprise to be an invited sponsor into this process. There is, again, a great deal of detail on what an invited sponsorship or invited sponsor enterprise looks like in the prior session on October the 8th. So let me shift gears just a little bit and talk about if you are a developer or designer. So if you're a developer and you're familiar with full stack JavaScript, which is Node.js, in this case we're using MongoDB, Express, and Angular, those are that's the toolbox that we're primarily interested in developing on this platform, then this is a real opportunity for you. And if you're a developer who's been in web development, let's say you're doing PHP, MySQL, you're familiar with CSS, HTML, so forth, all the web elements, and you're looking to learn these cutting-edge web development tools, this is an opportunity for you to participate with some other people that might have a little more knowledge in this cutting-edge area than you do and collaborate. So if you are interested in being an invited developer or designer, again, please send me an email, jcarpenter@PhoneWordWorkshops.com, or give me a call, country code 1-602-228-4486. This is really an opportunity for you to be involved in something that's dynamic, something that's innovative, something that creates open source, an open source platform where you can work in real time with other developers. You can learn together, you can collaborate together, and at the same time, you can be paid for your efforts. So that, in essence, is what's available for you if you are a web developer or designer. Both front-end, back-end development skills will be requested on your part. So that's kind of the nutshell summary up front on this video that describes what's available for you either as an invited bounty sponsor or an invited web developer designer. All right, so let me talk a little bit about what's transpired from last week. So last week, the initial event was aired here on the Google Hangout on October the 8th, and I laid out the elements of this program. Since then, I have had conversations with both developers as well as invited bounty sponsors, enterprises, and gotten some feedback. And the feedback's been very positive. I'm very excited about how this is being received. So the next steps are to have the 2 introductory sessions next Wednesday, October the 22nd, at respectively 7 p.m. Eastern, and I believe it would be 10 p.m. Eastern time, which is 4 p.m. Arizona time, and might be 7:30, excuse me, 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Arizona time. In any case, this will be posted, so please keep an eye out on the website. But we'll have half-hour sessions where the enterprises that are interested in participating, and there are at least 2 here in the Arizona area, large institutions that are interested in participating, and a set of developers in another session 3 hours later, 3.5 hours later actually, can have their questions asked. After that, those 2 introductory sessions are launched, I expect we will have enough interest to have the first bounty project launched. So that should be sometime around, well, that will be targeted for the following Monday, October the 27th, to actually get the first bounty project active. So that's our timeline. The other elements are that the coding sessions will be live, real-time, recorded sessions. So the developer designers that participate, the first 3 that participate in the first bounty project, I'm requesting that they will spend basically about 4.5 hours of their time over the period of over a 1 week period. How will that be broken down? 30-minute introductory session on Monday, October the 27th, 2014 at 8 p.m., I believe it is, Arizona time. And then on Tuesday, October the 28th, from 8 to 9 p.m. will be the first live coding session for the 3 chosen developers. Then Thursday, which I believe is October the 30th, will be the second coding session, 1-hour coding session. And then on Saturday, which is November the 1st, from 4 to 5 p.m. Arizona time, will be the third and final coding session or development session. Then on 4 p.m., no, excuse me, 5 p.m., I believe, on November the 3rd, we will have our debrief session for the developers. And this will all be laid out. I'm just quickly going over it so that you get a sense, if you're a developer, what will be involved on your part. You will develop collaboratively with the other 2 developers that are selected for this first bounty project. It will be recorded. It will be available for the invited sponsors, and you will know the invited sponsors in advance. And the target is to have 4 invited sponsors: large financial institutions, insurance companies, web companies, that sort of thing. So I know there's a lot to digest in this, and I just ask you to bear with us until this unfolds and you can actually see how it works, because I think you'll find it's quite dynamic and quite exciting. And if you are a developer or designer, you'll be able to benefit in multiple ways by participating in this. So what I'm going to do now is quickly go through the presentation. If you haven't seen it, I go through it in detail from last week again, and it is available on the website, www.PHONEWORDWorkshops.com. But I'm going to skip through the presentation and just quickly go over it at a high level. So let me start the screen share. Okay, great. So this is the presentation for this month, October, and we're interested in creating some new things in the realm of innovation. We're interested in, this is our agenda from last week, we are interested in creating open source code, and we're interested in pioneering new ways of collaboration. The objective of the workshops is to foster collaboration, new ways of collaborating, to create a prototype, both a web platform as well as a telephony platform. That's the PHONEWORD platform. And we're interested in experimenting with innovation in the realms of technology, business models, policy, and governance. So the fundamental value proposition of what we're talking about is doing something in the realm of bringing together all our disparate addresses. We all have so many addresses today, and they all work in sort of an isolated fashion. What if there was address harmony? What if our addresses started to work together? And that's basically what we're talking about with PHONEWORD. So we're in the realm of exploration and innovation. Here are the benefits of the Bounty Program for software developers and designers. Here are the benefits for invited sponsors. Here are the program stages. Now I step through it, how this might unfold. We're past this timeline, obviously, but we're looking at a way where you can get a sense of how this whole process works if you step through this day-by-day process. This is a schedule of how the reverse auction works. So the bounty starts out high and then is reduced on a daily basis until a winning sponsor steps forward and pays the bounty. And there is a minimum bounty that will be assured for the developers and designers that participate. And you can see that schedule at the you can see that line at the very bottom. So if you choose to participate as a developer and designer, you are assured some payment amount. So after the reverse auction takes place, there's a period where the developers and designers that are part of that bounty project speak directly to the winning sponsor, and they'll do this on an individual basis. And the conversation is basically about what does this winning sponsor need in terms of development resources or design resources, and then the developer designers can convey or share with the winning sponsor enterprise what they can provide, what they're interested in. So this is designed to be a much richer conversation than what normally occurs in the process of a company looking for skilled talent to assist and work on whatever their development projects are. Here's an example of what the first project will be. It's basically create a dialer in a browser, similar to the 800 Hollywood example. And again, you can see a full description of what 800 Hollywood is if you go to the Federation tab on PHONEWORDWorkshops.com. And here, just another example of how the whole process works from the level of the developers and designers that are involved. This is a process that will be evaluated among the peers that work on the project. So there's not going to be some judging panel, that sort of thing. The evaluation will take place among the 3 developer designers that work on a particular bounty project. The winning sponsor pays the bounty and then is entitled to the conversations, the results of the peer evaluation, and possibly some other additional benefits that will help that winning sponsor evaluate the skill set, the collaborative ability of all 3 of the developer designers that have been involved in this particular 1-week bounty project. Then a conversation takes place, and there's either additional work or projects that might come forth for the developer designers with the winning sponsor or not. And if there isn't a fit with a particular developer designer after the conversation with the winning sponsor, the developer designer will be requested to give the winning sponsor referrals. So in other words, who else within the developer designer community might be a good fit for the winning sponsor's projects? The other part is this is a global opportunity, although we'll be starting this on a local basis here in Arizona. The intention is that this will open up a global opportunity for developers, designers, and winning sponsor enterprises around the world to participate. Again, here's the proposed requirements. The initial target is 15 developer participants as part of the invitation group. We'll also be looking at least 4 invited sponsors to participate in each bounty project. Here's the technical skill set requested. And another dimension of this is if you are a developer designer that chooses to participate in a bounty project, you will also have your choice of 2 virtual addresses that you can continue to develop. As long as you're developing these or putting in some sort of work to get them operating, you can keep those virtual addresses to create projects around for forever. You just have to put some effort in, get them up and operating within 6 months, and we'll help you do that. So in conclusion, this is an innovative approach to collaborate in real time and create open source software and receive some payment for that process, which is highly unusual in the open source realm. And it's also an innovative opportunity for winning sponsors to connect directly with talented developers. So in my view, this is a win-win-win situation all the way around. So what's your idea? What would you like to work on? How would you like to distinguish yourself and your company? This is an opportunity. And you can go to PHONEWORDWorkshops.com to participate. So I'm going to go off of screen share. So thank you very much for your time and listening, your attention. Appreciate it. If you have any suggestions or comments, or by all means, if you'd like to participate, then please, again, send me an email, jaycarpenter, that's JAYCARPENTER, at PHONEWORDWorkshops.com, or give me a call at country code 1-602-228-4486. And I invite you to stay tuned. Our next regular PHONEWORD Workshops event will occur on the second Wednesday of November, which is November the 12th, and it will be at 5 p.m. Eastern, and it will be a session similar to this. And then on the third Wednesday of the month, which will be November the 19th, again at 11 a.m. Eastern, we will have our workshop for November. And by that time, the expectation is we will have a live prototype in some form or phase working that we can work on. In addition, there is the PHONEWORD Forum, which is more of a general conversation on industry topics, and that will be taking place on October the 29th at 4 p.m. Eastern. And you can find out more about the PHONEWORD Forum at phoneword.com and just look on the middle tab under PHONEWORD Forum. We have incredible conversations about cutting-edge developments in communications and media topics, regulatory topics, broadband topics, and I appreciate your time. Thank you for participating. I look forward to your collaboration in creating something that is extraordinary, something that is game-changing, and I'm really excited, and I look forward to what's next with you.